Welcome back. We've got another game for you today. We're going to show you what this is. I call this Raging Black Magic. Okay, there's a couple other variations I saw earlier, and I took an idea that I saw against me, which did really well against one of my other teams. And I thought, okay, let's put this down here. And I made a couple of changes. So we've got the Zentar, the Raging Impaler. Let's put this all together. This is how we would do it. We're over here on a testnet server trying something out. Just keep in mind that some of these stats and things will change. They will be balancing the game a little bit more. This is a very strong team. We're going to start with Zentar. The next thing that we do is it's called the Raging Black Magic because we have the Raging Impaler first, and then it's a definite focus on magic. Okay, so I've seen a couple variations where someone had put a cockatrice at the end. Well, first of all, so we got the Raging, we've got the Priest, so, and then we've got the Screaming Banshee. And what's great about this is we got a 2 mana and a 3 mana, and then recently the Magi Sphinx has gone down a little bit. So I started off in some of the games by putting the Sphinx at the end. But it was so valuable, I didn't want to lose it to a sneak attack group. So what I did is put that next, and then put the Spider at the end, because the Spider's a 2, and we only had 2 left. Some people had put the Cockatrice at the end, because it's also a 2. So those were the 2 options, right? Either the Spider or the Cockatrice. So putting the Spider at the end leaves the Magi for later if the Haunted Spider gets taken out. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to do an at-random game and see how it plays out. And then I'm going to show you some of my past battles, some of the interesting ones. So in the last one that we did, I hope you enjoyed it. That was the Healing Legends. All 3 of the legendaries that have heal abilities. All right, so we've got Plaid O0. He's very good. I always am intrigued by the interesting ideas. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this may be what do we call this one? This is I'm looking over here. This is the clay healing. So what do we call this? This is healing clay health, I believe. And last time he did it, he beat this team. So this is a great example. However, he had the Peacebringer in front of the Angel of Light, and he beat this team. So this is a perfect example, totally out of the blue, that this kind of comes up. And which is perfect. This team should beat my team, which is great. I've been on a very long streak of wins, and this is an attempt to find teams that beat this. So I'm intrigued. When he had the Peacebringer in front of the Angel, it definitely won. There should be no reason why this won't win again. I have no sneak attack to take out the Peacebringer, so it should be fine. What happens is that this Clay Golem has Void. And then it also has Enrage, which is pretty handy for it as well, meaning you're going to take a look at these stats are going to go up after I hit it once. I don't have enough to take out 12 health. So that's what you want to do when you're facing a health sort of team, is have enough to take it out in one round before they can re-heal it, especially when they have a double heal team. Okay? So now we're going to watch as they do their little abilities, right? I do have a weaken, which kind of should take it down to 11, but they have something that'll probably, nope, it's down to 11. So, there we go. Now it's enraged. See, the Void just took away that, and instead of 3, I'm going to get 1, and instead of 4, I'm going to get 2 because of Void, which is just amazing. Now, the 6 there is great, but I did not have enough to take it all the way down, and it only goes down to 8, which is nice. Oh, and that's what did it. Well, now we got resurrect. Maybe this is different. Maybe because some of the matching speeds are going to be different because of random number generator. Yep, that should do it. Now, this team can win. Actually, I'll go in and show this team beating. And maybe it was because I had the Sphinx at the end. And because the 3 spider and the 1 poison, or I mean 2 poison, did the damage. Maybe that was it. So that is the end of the game. We don't need to watch the end of that. It is a win. We're going to go down and find Plateau 0 again. Where let's find a loss. Okay. A loss by Marcus. These ones are interesting. We're going to have to show you. Actually, maybe it was Marcus that did this team. So we're going to watch for what he did against the Raging Black. See, I told you so. Here we go. Let's see why this is different. Why this wins. So this may not be a slam dunk team. This just may be a very capable team where it's kind of 50-50 sort of thing. But I don't know why there would be much of a difference why this one won. I did have the spider at the end. It's probably just who got a first hit. So that's, I think, what did it is the screaming. Yeah, well, see, it had 2 health at the end of that, and the poison took it down to 6. And then we got 3 there. And that's what did it, is that they were both, if you didn't see it, this was a 2-speed and this was a 2-speed. And in this case, the Clay Golem went before the Raging Impaler. And that was all it really was. And that's why, in this case, it won. They were very evenly matched teams. But in this case, the Raging Impaler died off first. And then also what happens here is that the Clay Golem resurrected right before the end of the turn. That's the perfect time for it to end, because it only has 1 health, and then it survives the round because that was the end of the round, and therefore was able to be healed. And so that's pretty much the end. It's all the way up to 11 health. There's no way I'm going to get down 11 health. I'm not sneaking. I'm going directly after the first person. That's what this Raging Black Magic is all about. So, all right, let's go back and show another team that did well against a black on black. The Dark Eternals facing off against each other. Fantasy Crypto against Monster World. And this is an interesting one. I believe that we did this one twice, and one time, obviously this time, Fantasy is going to win. And then we faced off against each other, and I won. So it's one of those things where there's a matched speed, and like something, the random number generator gives the advantage to someone else because it's so evenly matched. Someone has to go first. So there we go. We're clearing off the board of the Raging Impaler. But so you think he'd be down, right? But it's the fear. That's what it was. It was the fear that put the Raging Impaler in the back. So it was looking very destitute for him. But the fear, which is very uncommon, I rarely see the fear. And most people put their Screaming Banshees a little bit further back in the team. But putting it second gave that ability to have that option for fear. So it still looks like things may not work out. But what's happening here, well, it still seems like they're doing well. That's what did it. The Twisted Jester just really slam dunked that one home. And putting the Twisted Gesture at the end so a range wouldn't be stuck right there is a good idea. So, and the poison. Poison does so much, so often. You forget about it sometimes and you're like, oh, I'm doing all right. Oh, poison, I forgot. Dead. So I'm not going to show you the other version. I'm not going to really show you the other version of that because we know that fear basically won that one. So we are going to see what other cases there was a loss. So there was a loss back here to Neil, and that maybe have been back when I had the Sphinx at the end instead of the spider. We will check. Yeah, this is a great team against it, but with the Sphinx at the end and the feral cat having sneak and killing the Sphinx, which is very important. I mean, the spider's great with a 3 attack plus poison. Is actually very good, but, well, you'll see. Let's watch this one. Let's watch this. All right. So, what they've got is some defense, which is going to be great for them. They get a long list of abilities that they're able to do. All right. So that spider took out the defense, which is great. But 3, 4, 6, it still didn't take it down. So now it's going to go up. It was not going to be 19, but 16. And that aspect that we don't have the 4 kill from that Sphinx is going to get us so close and yet so far. 3. See? And now it's going to go back up to 15. So we're going to get close with a 6 there. And then we should get it down to 2. We could have got it down all the way to the end, but that cat, that pesky cat, is going to take out the spider, and now that loop is just destroyed, and we won't get it down. So we are out. That was definite loss there. Let me show you, obviously, do I need to show you all these other ones? Obviously, it wins a lot. I went from, when I started this, into the 400 range and the rankings up to 827, my highest. Now expect me to go down because I am going to be trying a new team for you guys. This is another team that I wanted to show. That's a really great team. I call this Sneaky Snake. We've got a snake, the Serpent of the Flame, and then we have 2 sneaks. The other problem is the Sphinx is at the end. We don't want to lose that one first. So again, if you switch these around, Sneaky Snake doesn't really work too well. So, and in fact, I've played Plato Zero with the spider at the end, and it does fine. It wins. So I don't know if it's every case that it wins, but it seemed to win pretty well. I could go find it for you if you'd like, but let's just show you what's happening and why placement of your cards are very important. Now, red is an extremely fast team. Look at those numbers, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, and we've got some much lower, 3, 3, 2, 3, and we've got a slow from the shaman, so we've just got the slowest numbers ever. So we're going to have this whole team attacking me before it's even done, and the Sphinx never gets a shot off. If it did, I'm willing to bet that the Raging Black Magic would win. So we needed that. We got that 5 melee attack against 1 heart. It just wasn't worth it. And now, depending on who gets to go, if the Raging doesn't even get to go. They tied, and they were both magic, but Shaman got to go first. It could have been closer if the Raging had gotten its shot off first, but they were both tied in speed, and they were both, well, no, Golem was always magic. Sorry about that. The Shaman would have always gone first. So it's just that losing that Sphinx was too important. So I'm going to go find another team for us to go and analyze, and I'm going to work through it. I may actually try out the Sneaky Snake, maybe try some variations. First, I'm going to try, just for the fun of it, some variations on Raging Black Magic as well. But I wanted to figure out the stats for you guys. It did me quite well going up to 827. We did see a couple of teams. I focused on showing you some teams that are good against it. And this is all blind play. So one day when there is live drafting, if you're wondering about that, when there's live drafting and you see someone pick Zintar and then go with the Raging Impaler, you're going to think, is he going for Raging Black Magic? If so, I need to prepare for that, you know? So you need to find a couple of teams. There's obviously that white team that does well against it, and another black team that does well against it too. Things that have Magic Void or Magic Reflect will be good against Raging Black Magic. And I wasn't able to test everything because I was letting other people test things, and people get caught up in using the same team over and over, like me, so they're not trying that out. And in any case, I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for some more. Put your suggestions of what you'd like me to figure out below. I'm going to total up the wins and losses for Raging Black Magic. I'm going to make it so that we aren't counting the Sphinx at the end, but just the spider at the end. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.